welcome back to, what is this, 7, Kyle?
Episode 7.
Oh, man, I love board. Somehow managed to hit it. Before we get started, I believe our wonderful producer, Kyle, has something to say about a promotion we've got going on.
Yeah, so right now we've got going on is we've got a t-shirt campaign that we are doing to sell to increase some of the funds that we have for Your Daily Nerd. If you've been a fan of Your Daily Nerd in the past, you can look and see that like both me and Ian are wearing in this recording are Your Daily Nerd shirts. We're doing this very similar thing that we did with these, except we're doing it with the logo that you can see here in the bottom right-hand corner, with the Your Daily Dungeon logo as well. So you can go over to bonfire.com/YDD and order yourself a t-shirt, a baseball tee, or a tank top that has that logo on it. It also has the URL for the website right there on the back, up next to the neck. This campaign is a limited run kind of deal because we're doing it in a campaign sort of situation. We don't really have the capital necessary to do a full run where we just buy a bunch of them and sell them to you. So you'll have to order it within the time span available. As of this video going up, you should still have about a week left to go and purchase yours. So head on over to bonfire.com/YDD, and we'll be promoting this for the next as this campaign is going on. It goes right back. All the money goes right back into the channel for us to continue making great content for you. And we hope you enjoy and you'll consider purchasing one.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, Kyle. Appreciate it. For those of you who are listening on the podcast, if you want to order one of those shirts, and in case you didn't catch it, or he did mention the actual, I believe, URL it was, and the link in that. So I think it was a minute or so ago. So if you're listening, feel free to go back and catch on to what.
Yeah. It'll be in the video description, and then it'll also be in the episode description on the audio versions and the video versions. So you should be able to look at the show notes for it, and it'll have the URL that'll take you directly to it.
Excellent. All right. Thank you so much, Kyle. All right. So getting on to the actual content of the episode, we are excited and both nervous to talk about a fun event that's going on. I believe it was Combat is where we left off.
Ooh, baby.
Mortal Kombat!
You guys
I don't believe in combat.
You guys had just encountered the Black Drake of the Swamp. And it had, I guess you could say, knocked you... boat rather, and 4 of you are now plunged in the murky, swampy waters. You were thrown into the water, so if you had dove in, you were basically completely submerged in it. You have to swim your way back up and stand up. It's not deep yet, except for I believe Dijo would probably still have to wade in the water. It's too high for him. Those of you that are on the banks of the river, you notice that the actual banks of the river is like this soft, marshy mud type instead of sand. And it kind of slows you down and kind of weighs you down a little bit. But only about 10 feet in, the actual forest is dark, pitch black, almost like nighttime. Even though banks of the river, you can look up and see that it's clearly daytime. Inside the actual rustling of the trees, you can see figures darting in and out of the dark trees. You hear the sounds of lizard folk chattering in Draconic, saying, "Kill. Hunger." Stomping in the water before it dives in and starts swimming towards the group that's in the water. Amnon, it is your turn. You are the closest to the Drake.
Okay, great.
The Drake is roughly 30 feet from you as it starts swimming towards you.
So the Drake is swimming towards me. How beat up is the Drake looking? I know that we kind of said that he was looking a little damaged, right? A little hurt.
He's not looking like he wants to take too many more hits, but he's definitely not a pushover either.
All right. I'm gonna pull. So about how far away do you think he is from me? I know he's swimming. So how far away is he?
You're asking how can you swim in the water? Can you like wade your way to the beach? Is that what you want to do?
No, I just want to know like how like so you said that I'm not wading in this. This is probably like about like what, ankle deep for me, or what, how?
No, it's about like mid thigh. So I guess that would be kind of wading.
Okay.
You don't have to tread water.
Okay. Approximately.
First off, you're technically prone. Is
Okay.
what happened. Is where you are right now. You got knocked from the boat. You fell in the water, and you're either on like your hands and knees right now, like rising to your feet. Basically, you're gonna have to spend half your movement to stand up, and then you can do something else.
Okay.
Keeping in mind that moving through water is going to also have your
my
movement
speed.
even.
Right. I'm gonna go ahead and try to make it onto the bank, whichever bank it is. Are Mel and Nadar on the same bank?
So you see the floating, destroyed remains of the boat, kind of splashing up on the edges of the bank, 18 feet away, which is about as far as you can make it. You can move about that 15.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good. And can I still throw an Eldritch Blast at the Drake?
You may move and attack. Yes.
Cool. I'm gonna do that then.
Submerged. So the Drake is submerged in the water, and he's black. I'm gonna need you to give me a perception check to see him in the water to not take disadvantage. If you fail, you'll be at disadvantage.
I got a 10.
A 10? You do not see him slip into the water. He's just too stealthy.
All right, so I got to roll a disadvantage. All right, so that's a 9.
A 9. So you fire a blast and it hits the surface of the water, detonates, and momentarily parting the water, but I don't see any visible signs of actually hitting the creature.
Okay.
All right. Moving on, it is Watt's turn.
Okay, so are the lizard folk that are on the beach attacking us as well?
Yeah, you see that the lizard folk are on each side of the bank. If you can actually visibly see, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lizard folk standing in a basically a linear formation on the opposite side of the beach, all bearing short bows.
Okay, and how many are on the side that was on?
How many are on the side that you were on?
Yeah.
There are 4.
Okay. So I'm going to use that half movement speed to stand up. Bonus action to give myself my shield of faith. And how far away is the shore?
So where you are standing, you are roughly 20 feet out. You are the furthest away.
Okay. If I were to use my action to sprint, could I make it to the shore?
Use your what action?
Yeah, use my action to sprint.
Yeah, that would be a dash. You'd be making a dash action.
Okay.
Which is if that's what you'd like to.
Yeah, I'd like to just dash to the shore with my action. With the shield of faith cast as my bonus action.
Okie dokie. Sorry to those of you who have to listen to my dice clacking around. I'm just trying to shuffle through the ones I like to use. I have my lucky dice, and I like to have those so that I can antagonize my players. I guess I could dump them all out on the ground that way. Was that loud?
It's like a rain stick.
You guys didn't hear that, right?
All right. Adam, Watt spends his entire turn running towards the water. Watt, since you can move 30 feet, you can actually make it onto shore and get about, so about another 10 to 15 feet on the shore if you'd like.
Okay, just out of that sandy area.
Let's say, and just so that we can paint a picture here, Amnon is right at the cusp of the shore. So he's like standing where the water ends and the beach begins. I guess it's not really a beach. It's not sand. It's it's where the mud and the water begin. And Amnon, you can actually run up past him and make it to the tree line. That's how far you can move. The tree line's only 15 feet away from the.
Okay, I'd like to go by whoever's standing on the shore.
Yeah, you got Nadar and you got Mel.
Are they
You got
next?
Nadar and Mel on the.
Are they close to each other?
They're standing roughly 10 feet.
Okay, I'll just go between them. Group up with them.
Mm-hmm. So Mel positions himself in the center of you two, Mel and Nadar. Or not Mel, Watts. I apologize. All right, does that end your turn?
Yeah, that'll be it.
All right, Davros, I believe you wild shaped into an owl before you hit the water.
I did.
So you are. So now you're in mid-flight over the water.
Can I?
You're roughly 10 feet in the air.
How many lizard people did you say there were?
How many people did I say there were? There are 10.
I'm just gonna regroup for now, kind of hover above and behind the party. Or
Okay.
the group on the shore.
So. So you said you were going to float above the rest of the group, correct? Not really float, but fly over there and spin in place because that's the best thing I can imagine team in a position.
Yes.
All I'm just like rotating its head in place like a helicopter instead of action. That's terrifying to me.
LAPD.
All right.
Wait, I can't hear you.
It's the lizard folks' turn. There's going to be a flurry of arrows fired from the opposite side. Let's see. Who is still in the water? We've got Dijo is still in the water, correct?
Yep.
And I believe that's it, right? It's just Dijo?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dijo, all these attacks have disadvantage.
Wait, what?
All these attacks have disadvantage.
They have disadvantage on me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Sweet.
So sorry about that. We had to take a short technical difficulties break. I hope you enjoyed the Wii music. We'll do our best to feature. It's just having some connectivity issues. I digress. Those attacks were fired in a volley at you guys. If a 15 hits you, you take a d6 of damage as an arrow strikes you in the shoulder. The only one who has disadvantage in this, or not disadvantage, Zach, basically, D fired out, but the arrows are hitting the water that he's basically underneath. He's so small, and the arrows hit the water and just die of all the momentum dies like instantly hitting the water. So none of them hit you and deal damage. Otherwise, everyone takes 2 points of damage that is hit by a volley.
Exactly how I intended.
If your AC is lower than 15, you take damage.
Okay.
I'm the cleric with an AC of 20 right now.
Okay.
You said lower than 15?
Lower than 15.
Oh wait, hold on. Let me see what my owl's DC is or AC is. It's not much.
Woo! I cast mage armor on myself, so
I hope it's like 1.
I'm good.
Then you take it. 11.
Oh.
Anyway, out of the forest, directly in front of Nadar, Mel, Watt, and the owl. That's what I'm going to be calling Davros. Is just the owl. You see 4 lizard folk come charging out of the woods. Two of them are carrying just regular hatchets, and another one is barehanded with his claws spread out. And a third one comes running out, and he's carrying what looks to be like a quarterstaff. With the one with a quarterstaff is going to run up on you, and he's going to spin and try to swing it down on your shoulder and strike you.
Woohoo.
Nadar. Nadar does I think a 16 misses.
That's correct.
Yes. So the quarterstaff comes down and strikes your shoulder plate and bounces off cleanly. The one's gonna throw it at you now. No, that fell really far. A 6 is going to miss. I'm positive. Hatchet's gonna be
so.
a 12 hit the owl. Does a 12 hit the owl's AC?
No.
Awesome.
It was a giant owl, not a regular.
Good.
And then the last, who's barehanded, is going to run, and he's going to attempt to grapple you, Watt. I need an opposed strength check.
All right. So.
Now you have a 22 to beat.
I rolled a 6.
Wait, a 22
All
that's impossible for me to do.
Well, it's a good thing he can't reach you.
Oh, I thought it was for everyone.
No, it's just
No. It was just Watt. Yeah.
So I thought it would be
Yeah, so Watt, this lizard folk comes running out of the forest, grabs you by the waist, going to get a free bite in on you because he grappled you.
okay. So how much damage?
It's
am I
only
taking?
2 points. It's only 2 points of damage into your shoulder with his teeth, and pulls free. And
Okay.
I need a Constitution save from you.
Oh, okay. 17.
All right, you pass. You see your
Cool.
wound is dripping with the black ichor that seeps off of his teeth.
Okay, well, on him hitting me, I'm going to cast my reaction for Wrath of the Storm and deal 2d8 lightning damage to him.
Ooh.
Well, no, he
Roll.
makes a dex saving throw.
Ooh, a 3 fails. Roll damage.
Yeah, cool. He takes 9 damage.
He dies.
Ooh, nice. Okay.
First blood.
I will
Sort
gladly
of.
take that.
What happened to my pencil? Don't
I hate it.
stop. That's okay. I'll find it.
Cool.
I'll use a pen. I have the technology. All right. It is Nadar's turn. Nadar, a lizard folk you see runs up and bites Watt on the arm, but not on the arm, on the shoulder, and rips free some flesh, and you see Watt scream and a thunderous explosion of electricity and clouds reacts out of Watt, and you see the lizard folk as it's chewing the food it just had in its mouth, just shakes violently and collapses on the ground from the explosion.
Jesus
You
Christ.
hear a very you thunderclap
Yep.
from Watt.
All right.
And
Well-
this is why I'm deaf.
And you're going to make me deaf, too. Nadar's not even phased by it. He's just the one that hit him. He's just going to swing at.
All
Try and
right.
take its
Go
freaking
ahead.
head off. All right. Let's see. A 22. And that'll be 14 damage.
14.
Yep, 1-4.
Oh man. So go ahead and tell me how you kill this poor bastard.
Oh, I'm just gonna one hand the great sword, just cleave his head off. Just clean slice.
One-handed.
Yep,
sword.
Jesus.
dude, he's 6'8", 245. It's LeBron James swinging a great sword.
I think for LeBron James, that's just like a toothpick.
Yeah, pretty much. That's why I
It's a
built this
short
guy.
sword.
So yeah, his head's gone.
Mhm. All right. Nadar, would you like to do anything else? You good standing where you are on the banks?
Where's the next closest one to me?
It is to your right beside Mel. It is one that threw a hatch, and on the there's still one running out of the woods with a. It basically the two that threw the hatches are the only ones left alive
Okay, so
on that side of the river.
okay, I'm gonna run towards the one that's still close towards the tree line.
All right. So you're going to the one that's farther away from you, the one that's on your left side. You said.
Yeah, the one that's still approaching us. That's the one I'm gonna run towards, engage.
Yeah. All right. So you run across, and your heavy metal boots. They're not made of heavy metal. Sorry, the leather boots with like little metal toes. Run across the mud, and you can feel the mud just like sliding up and hitting your shins and flinging across everywhere. Like the sounds of like the squishing mud really gets you excited because it sounds like just blood just splattering across the ground. You're getting like this surge of excitement, the warrior blood in you boiling.
Jeez, I'm thinking some mud flaps on my boots.
Mud flaps.
You're
All
ruining
right.
my
It is Dijo's turn. Dijo, you're underwater.
Good.
Good.
All right. I want to not be underwater, so I'm gonna try and swim to the surface.
All right, Dijo, you surface. You are the second farthest out. You are equivalent in distance to Amnon, so 15 feet from the shore.
Okay. So swimming up took half my movement speed or something, right?
You are going to have to swim. You're too short to walk. So you can. I'll need an athletics check from you.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
You're gonna need to make it a disadvantage as well. Your heavy armor, not heavy, but your kind of thick, sturdier armor you have is not well suited for swimming. You find out.
Okay. Disadvantage. 6.
Oof.
Dijo, while you are not sinking, Dijo, you find that like you can't really make the motion to do anything other than like a very light doggy paddle.
Fair enough. How long will it take me to get to where I can walk?
You will be unable to do any other actions, and it'll take your entire turn just to swim up to shore. Unless you'd like to do cunning action and spend all of that and then try to do something else. Do you even have cunning action yet at level 2?
Yeah, level 2. You have cunning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll use
So
my
if you'd like to do, all right. So you dash.
Can I dash? Yeah, I'll dash.
Yeah, you can cunning action doggy paddle.
All right. So I guess I do that.
Yeah. So
Right.
you surface on the water. You still have, that's your bonus action. So you still have your movement and your attack.
Okay. So where's the closest enemy to me?
The drake in the wall. Look around for it. I think you have dark vision, don't you, as a gnome?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can make out better where it is. It's still a disadvantage, I guess, but attack at it because you have dark vision.
Yeah.
But in addition to that, you can see that there's 2 lizard folk on the shore. You surfaced up right beside Mel.
Okay.
Mel, a wet rat crawls out of the water, but you quickly realize it's Dijo.
Start kicking it. I was like, oh, damn it. Oh. Damn it, DJ.
Goddamn neutral rats.
It is a nutria, isn't it? Ooh.
No, but are there any of the lizard people by me?
Lizard people. Yes, there's one to your right, and you see Nadar sprint past you as you surface on the water and go to one on the far left. There's also a large amount of them on the opposite side of the river.
I'm gonna try and attack the drake, or one of these lizard people. What's the one closest to me like doing?
Snarling and making lizard folk faces.
What's the
You
drink
see-
look like he's about to do?
You look in the water and you see the drake is rapidly swimming towards the towards where you guys are.
Solid.
You know what? I'm gonna shoot the drake.
All right, roll at disadvantage. You pull out a bow and you pull out your bow and fire.
Yep. Uh, 4. Does that hit?
It meets.
I can just imagine Dijo firing the arrow and it like sails off far, not even going into the water. Hits a tree. It somehow hits a tree on the opposite side of the bank, and he calls out to Mel in the middle of this fight. Do you think I hit him?
I don't see the arrow. Is he dead?
I turn around.
No, DJ.
I turn around and look, and I'm like, yeah, you total hit him. Got it.
Nice.
I imagine DJ shoots and turns around and looks and he's like, smoked him. Just totally confident.
Nailed him.
How about that hot shot?
A real man doesn't watch explosions.
Alrighty, it's Mel. It's your turn. Would you like to spend your turn laughing at DJ?
I spend my free action laughing.
That's a free action.
That's free action.
That's a free action.
No, actually, how the lizard folk on the other side of the bank, on the other side, how like bunched up are they?
They're standing in loose groups of 10 feet apart from one another. So they're making up roughly, so that's what, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, they're about 50 feet totally spaced.
Okay. How many are in each group?
There's only one, so like each one is standing 10 foot from the next. So there's 7 of them, there's 6 of them over there.
Okay. So, I think there's how many of them?
There's 6, and they're each standing 10 feet apart from one another in a linear formation.
All right. So what am I gonna do?
Roast him.
I'm not good at geometry.
I don't have a spell.
Your mom's ugly. Ha.
But
Got him.
what I'm gonna do is I'm going to cast it at. I'm gonna cast sleep at one of them. It should affect 3.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think 3. So I'm gonna cast sleep, and let me roll my hit. Let's roll the dice here. Oh, first roll's a 6.
That's 38 total. They're all sleeping.
15 hit die. Or
Oh, you
hit.
suck.
On the group, you're going to center it on the group to hit the most you can?
Yes. So, like roughly 3 of them. I'm actually gonna do it to where there's 6 of them equally spaced. I'm gonna do like the first 3.
You did, you said you rolled 15 total?
Yeah, 15 total. 15 hit points total.
You actually hit 4 of them.
How do I hit 4? No, it's like a 20-foot rate. 20 feet out from a point.
Oh, I see. I was thinking that it was. Yeah, we're good. I'm sorry. I was misunderstanding.
You can only target 3 of them, and then the hit points is how many are affected.
Yeah, he affects all 3 of them, and he had hit points to spare.
Oh, good lord.
Oh man. 9?
They are. We'll go into detail as to why they look sickly. You saw that they had black, like their veins were bulging in black with that same ichor. And Watt, you noticed that when he bit you, that ichor was like on your wound.
Right.
All right. So now that's Mel's turn. It's the Drake's turn.
Ooh.
Oh,
I forgot about that
Ooh,
thing.
baby.
How do you forget about a massive dragon monster?
Because he poses no threat to Nadar.
I'll keep that in mind as I roll this dice, and I'm going to make 5 of the 6 sides of this dice.
Bring it, bitch.
Oh god.
I'm no mere mortal.
Anyway,
No
so
man
it's going
can
to
kill
roll a d6.
I know, man.
Oh, I am no man, Mickey Mouse says as he rips off the helmet.
The true ending.
How it should have ended.
So the drake bursts out of the water and fires a line of acid, and it hits one of the trees directly in front of you guys. And the tree split at the base of it, and it begins to plummet, and it rotates and falls sideways. I'm going to need a dex save from everybody on the shore to get out of the way of that tree as it plummets.
I fly out of the way of the tree.
You may make a dex save at advantage, Swank, as you are more agile and prepared for this as you are flying. You're in motion already, basically.
Am I technically at the shoreline, or should I?
You are directly on the shoreline.
You said we're
19.
making a dex save, right?
I rolled an 18 on that deck save.
19.
21.
4.
Oof.
I rolled I'll beat you there, Kyle. With a -1 in dex, so I got a 1.
There goes all the casting.
Swank, what did you roll? I didn't hear you.
19.
19. All right, Nadar, I'm going to offer something to you, and you can choose to help your teammates or not here. Would you like to make an athletics check to try and catch the tree?
Yes, 100% would.
All right. Go ahead and make an athletics check at advantage.
Yep, that tree is definitely 100% wood.
Okay,
I didn't
So-
hear the tree fall, so
my highest one was a 23.
God,
23?
Jesus Christ.
All right. So you guys see the tree falling. Amnon, you turn to move out of the way. You slip in the mud and drop to a knee without falling all the way. Mel, you turn to get out of the way of the tree, and you slip and fall on your ass in the mud.
Pussies.
Watt, you don't even hear the tree bust. So you continue to move on with your life. Nadar puts his lizard folk. You hear the sounds of the tree snapping. You hear the sounds of the bark breaking as moss begins to plummet through the sky, falling all around you. You look up and you see the leaves of the trees rapidly approaching you. You ditch your greatsword in the mud as it hits with a sound sticking into the mud in its place. You reach up and you heft this tree as it drops on you. You save Mel, Amnon, and Watt's life.
so thank you.
This nearly 100+ pounds of tree fall and almost collapse on these individuals.
I have a question now.
You're hefting this tree on your back. You're hefting this tree on your back, Mel. Not Mel. The wizard.
Yeah,
No, the wizard is just.
Oh,
Nadar, you're hefting this tree on your. Basically, you've got your hands up above you, and you're just grasping the center of the tree, the trunk of it, in both hands.
So how close was I to that lizard folk?
He's about 10 feet from you now.
Okay, I was just wondering if he'd get AO or not.
No, not at this moment.
Okay.
So the drake's turn is not over, as it's going to proceed up onto the shore, and it's to trample over the lot of you. Let's see. I need either athletics or acrobatics from those of you who are interested. If you want to be trampled, you don't have to roll.
Do I have to roll? Does it come towards me?
You are.
Or do I have to?
Yeah, you're quite good, Nadar. You're out of the way.
I got a
So
14 on my acrobatics.
And since I'm in the air, am I good?
Yeah, you're fine, Swank.
I got a 13.
Okay,
I got an 11.
an 11. All right. So, Mel, what did you roll? What?
I rolled a 13.
All right. What did you roll, Dijo?
I rolled a. This is Dex, right?
It's either one. It's acrobatics or F's, whichever you prefer.
17. I can do that.
17. Yeah. So you're able to not only dodge the tree, Dijo, like you roll underneath the tree, but you see this guy coming. You see this Drake pop out of the water and just charge you guys down, and you're able to roll. Amnon, Mel, and Watts. The guy tramples over you, dazing you. You have disadvantage all ability checks and attack rolls until you are undazed after one turn.
Would that technically be considered a melee attack that he just did?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
In that case,
he takes
you go first.
he takes 5 points of cold damage.
Yes,
from my armor
and
of
your
Agathis.
HP was not your HP was not reduced from that spell.
Correct.
And in that case, it continues to persist.
Correct.
Okay, so in that case, for me, once again, and it makes a Dex saving throw.
It fails.
Ooh, good. Cool. Then I'm going to roll. I'm going to use my Channel Divinity. Take 16 damage.
To do what?
16 damage to the Drake. I use my Channel Divinity to roll max damage with lightning.
Ooh, it's lightning. So
Lightning
it is soaked. It is soaked in water as you electrocute it.
Yep.
It takes double the damage.
Ooh, baby. So it takes
32.
It takes 32 damage. Good.
Go ahead and math.
Plus that 5 points of cold damage.
Mm-hmm. So you hear this thing roar in pain as it tramples over the lot of you, and it turns around and it screams angrily at you, and it says in Draconic, "Die!"
Oh no!
What?
All right,
Just kidding.
and I'm not. It's your turn.
All right, so I am dazed, right? Can you
You are dazed.
Can you repeat again what that does to me?
All ability checks and attacks have disadvantage. You may still perform.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and cast for my bonus action, cast Hexblade's Curse on the Drake.
Okay.
And then I am going to pull out my scimitar and go for an attack.
I believe that cancels out your disadvantage, correct?
I don't get advantage with the Hexblade's Curse. I think I still have disadvantage. The only thing
you didn't actually. It's not actually the spell hex. It's something different, right?
Right. Yeah. With Hexblade's Curse, I get proficiency bonus on attacks. I get a 19 or a 20 is a crit for me, and if the target dies, I get hit points back. But they're like I don't get an advantage or anything.
Yeah, and just for future reference, whenever you guys use an ability for the first time, go ahead and explain it out so people who are listening can get a better idea of what it is.
Yeah. So I guess I'll do that at disadvantage now.
Yeah, go ahead and roll the hit.
That first one was not good. Of course, that second one was really good. So it's an 8.
An 8. You miss, unfortunately.
Yes.
Would you like to move, Amnon, or are you fine where you are? You're on the banks of the river still.
I'm gonna move on to some more solid ground, but I think that's it. I'm just kind of move a little bit closer to the rest of the party.
All right, you move closer over to where Dijo and Mel are standing. Well, I guess Mel's on his ass still.
Fool.
All right, it is Watt's turn. Watt, there's a giant tree in front of you all of a sudden. It's just you see Nadar heading this tree that came out of nowhere basically for you.
Jesus. How close am I to the?
How close are you to the tree or the drake? I apologize. The drake. You are the second farthest away, only to Nadar at 20 feet.
Is anyone injured? I think I'm the only one who's taking damage, right?
I think everyone's taken some arrow damage, with the exception of Dijo.
Okay. Does anyone look like
either? I think.
Is anyone looking like really beat up, like they're about?
Let's see. I think. No, I don't think anyone's looking too bad.
No, I mean I know I'm not.
Cool. Well then, I am just going to go ahead and run towards the Drake, two-handing my warhammer and just attack it.
All right, go ahead and roll to hit. You are at disadvantage, I believe, because you were dazed.
Right. That is an 11 to hit.
All right, you swing and miss. Your hammer drops just short of its foot as it lifts out of the way, dodging your attack.
Okay.
Alrighty. It is Davros'
Alright.
still owling about.
Yeah, how close is the closest, or let me rephrase, is the closest lizard folk to me in range of me?
Yeah, you can fly anywhere pretty much. You've got a pretty decent flight distance, like what, 40, 50 something feet?
Bite their heads
60.
Yeah,
Bite their
that's
heads
quite a
off.
bit with an owl.
Yeah, I'm
Bite their
gonna.
heads off.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go full on that dude.
I believe a giant owl is as large as the drake is, technically, as far as stat go.
Yeah, I'm a large.
Nice.
Ian,
He
does a
occupies the same space.
does a 17 hit them?
Better.
You're attacking the lizard folk or the drake?
Lizard folk, closest one to me.
Yes. You strike the lizard folk that is beside the drake.
What?
You shoot beside the drake.
8 damage.
8 damage to that lizard folk. You kill him.
First blood.
Excuse you? Didn't I have first blood?
Excuse me.
Okay, is that your turn, Swing?
I was gonna say first blood every
Can
time
I
anybody
do
gets
anything
killed.
else?
Okay.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I didn't think so either. Yeah, I'm good.
Alrighty. So it is the lizard folk's turn. This last lizard folk on y'all's side of the bank is going to charge Nadar, and it's going to attempt to hit you in the kneecap, Nadar. You see him pull out a very wicked-looking bone sword. He draws this greatsword off his back, and you see its jagged edges are a very bright ivory color of white. The pommel is made of a similar fashion, and it's got a nice leather-wrapped handle. You have a lot of time as he approaches you very slowly. Nadar, you cannot defend yourself. The only thing you can do is attempt to not drop the tree on you.
Oh, no.
So he's going to strike you, Nadar, with this greatsword. Ooh, that's not a good hit at all. Nadar, he strikes you across one of your legs with the greatsword, and only deals a total of 5 damage to you.
All right. Do I need to make like a check to see if I can maintain holding the tree up?
Yes, I'm going to ask you for another athletics check.
22.
Yeah. Wow. It does not phase you. He hits you across the thigh, but you've just got a firm grip and an excellent stance on this tree.
What a boss.
All right.
That old +5 to athletics.
It's just like,
Nadar, it's your turn. Would you like to hit him with the tree? I'm getting a sense that you
You
want to.
feel no pain in this dojo. What did you say, Ian?
Nadar, it's your turn. Would you like to, like, I don't know, dispose of the tree or like hit him with it, or you got a bunch of options with a tree.
Hello?
All right, how would it work trying to swing it at him?
I know,
If
but
I can't, I just kind of like
I got
roll it off my
disconnected.
back
that's
onto
weird.
him.
Okay.
I apologize.
So the tree is 8 feet in length. Are you sure you want to try and swing it and hit
No.
everything in its?
Okay. At a quick glance, if I was just to like, I'm assuming he's attacking me from the side. Could I just like heave it off my back onto him? Like, you know what I'm talking about? Like, kind of like lean my
You want
body
to hot
right.
potato this tree?
Pretty much, like I lean my body right and just kind of like do like a dex check to like pull from underneath it real quick and let it fall on him.
Everything froze.
Hold on.
All right, I think we're gonna need to take a pause. Sorry.
Can you guys hear us?
Adam. Yeah, I can hear Zach just fine.
Okay, am I moving?
Yeah.
You're not moving
Adam.
for me.
Yeah. Swing and Adam aren't moving.
Yeah, I
Swing is
can't
moving
hear
again.
anyone either.
Swing, you're moving again, Swing.
You're starting to moving.
Adam, turn your your video off. Adam's moving again.
Okay, I'm back. Hello.
Turn your video off, Adam.
Hold on.
Yeah, just keep it off, man.
Yeah, well, I
Put it back on.
it was off, but it's still disconnected like that.
Interesting. All right, are we good to start back up again?
Yeah. I didn't stop the recording at all. I just figured it'd be better to go ahead and just keep going.
We'll fix
Okay.
it in post.
So
Nadar, you don't act with it as far as like a dex check to get out from underneath it. You want to just make another athletics check to just throw that bit?
okay, but I want to make sure because I don't think Mel's moved. So like, if I do drop it, am I gonna hit anybody else with it?
No.
Okay.
The lizard folk is out of the way of everybody else. He's still positioned pretty much up. Basically, you're gonna throw it. Even if it hits him, you're gonna hit him into another tree.
Okay, I'm gonna do that, and my athletics check was a 13.
A 13.
Yep.
All right. Is his AC, so it makes contact with them. I'm gonna make to catch it, or if it just hits him. So you throw the. He drops his greatsword and catches it.
What the? This is a game of fucking hot potato with goddamn tree.
All right, Dijo, it's your turn. You see a drake, a lizard folk holding a tree. Basically, you see you see
move
two
away from
lizards.
him?
You see basically two lizards, essentially. Yes, you can move away. You see
Okay.
two lizards basically throwing a tree between each other, like catch.
As I move away, I'm gonna yell, "Dijo, check out his leg!"
That's exactly what I'm gonna do. All right, how far away is he from me?
I would guess bow range.
Yeah, irrelevant. You have a bow and arrow.
Yeah, I know.
If you miss this guy, I'm gonna fucking cunt point you.
All right, wait. So is Nadar within 5 feet of him? Of this? Is someone within 5 feet of one of these lizards? The lizard with the tree?
Yeah, he's within. Nadar moved away. He's probably like what, 10, 15 feet away now.
Yeah, I was just kind of like, I'm just imagining like as he caught it, I'm like, fuck, and I ran. I'm like, Dijo, get him.
So I would
say
say
10
10
feet.
on this.
I'll say 10 feet.
Nadar, since you've turned and faced the opposite direction, can you give me a perception check? And Dijo, are you wanting to attack him? You can roll an attack if you'd like.
Yeah, but I won't get sneak attack, will I?
Oh, you will. He can't see over the tree.
Okay, so roll. Do I need to roll advantage, right?
Yes.
Okay. 16.
Ian, I rolled a
Sure.
12 on that perception.
All right.
21.
Hang on, Zach. Nadar, 21. 21. Nadar, you turn and you don't see any lizard folk save for the sleeping ones on the opposite side of the bank.
Okay.
Anyway, Dijo, you fire an arrow and you hit that lizard folk in the kneecap.
Nice. All right.
Down goes
roll
Fraser.
damage plus sneak attack.
Okay. 2d6. 5.
5. That's with sneak attack.
Yeah. Wait, hold on. Wait. 5 plus. I had my dex, right? Twice?
Mhm.
Do I have my dex twice?
It's not a critical hit. You just you getting sneak attack.
Okay. So I get 6 plus 2, 8.
8. damage. Yeah, you kill him. Your arrow pierces him in the knee. You see his knee hyperextend in the opposite direction and buckle as his leg bends the opposite way it should. He crumples in the tree, drops onto him.
I don't like that at all.
Nadar, you see his greatsword flop in the mud and bounce away from him a little bit.
Okay.
Anyway, that's Dijo's turn. Would you like to move anyway, Dijo?
How close is the Drake to me? Does the Drake look?
The Drake doesn't look like it's particularly focused in on anybody.
How close is it to me?
About 10 feet.
Actually, I'm gonna hide. I'm gonna try and hide.
Sure. Go ahead.
So. 14 plus. 1 second. Let me check this. 7. So 21.
21.
Stop.
I hate all of you.
All right. Sounds good. It is Mel's turn. Mel, the Drake is alive, and the last lizard folk on your side of the river is looking pretty mangled and beneath. I think your mic is muted, Eric.
It is.
Rookie move.
Okay.
Rookie move.
Wow.
What are you new here?
Apparently. Anyway, yeah, I don't care about the lizard. What I'm gonna do is, how close is the Drake to me?
The Drake is roughly 10 feet from you. He's almost beside you. You and Dijo are standing roughly close. I guess Dijo moved away from her.
Huh?
So it's just Mel.
Yeah, I'm gonna back up. That's the first thing I'm gonna do. I'm gonna back up, get away from it, and then I'm gonna cast Toll the Dead. So everybody except who hears a big loud bell. And
I mean,
he needs to make
Exactly.
he needs to make a. There we go. Oh, he crit fails.
Ooh, baby.
Hell yeah.
Ooh.
All right.
Ooh.
I'm gonna
Keep
roll.
going.
He's taking damage because I remember I hit him with a couple of firebolts.
Oh, he's taking a lot of damage.
He's
Taking a lot of damage.
taking a lot of damage.
Oh
I
my
feel
god,
like-
max damage. 12.
Shut up.
Hell yeah.
And he crit failed.
12 damage. He crit failed, so does that mean that I get to roll double damage?
Yes.
It actually does not.
Oh, okay.
So, your bell rings, and very similarly to the rest of the enemies who have experienced this death, that deathly toll vibrates, causing the creature to scream in pain as its eyes burst with blood, its mouth bursts with blood, and it takes a couple steps forward. You see its back rippling, and the scars on its side begin to leak black ichor as the Drake collapses on the ground and explodes in a 40-foot radius, showering the area in black ichor.
You.
Nice.
I need Constitution saves from everybody.
God
Dex checks
damn
to
it.
avoid it.
Well, I was
No,
right next to it.
It is a
I was-
shower.
So
I
it's
was
a
actually-
right up on it. Do I have any
Watt.
penalties for that?
Watt. No, Watt. You're good. You've already passed the save.
Oh, yeah, okay.
so
Hey,
is,
you aren't.
So same attempted poison.
7. 9.
it's a con save.
It's a con save.
7.
21.
5.
Oh, no.
Same. I rolled a
Am I
5.
going to start after clericking?
Am I gonna have to? I don't want to.
Do I get to
What
roll?
odds you never cleared
Do,
again?
do I get to roll at advantage because there's two beings living in my body?
just because Zarbdock is sick of your shit doesn't mean that he's not gonna get sick.
Yeah, fair. You know what? If you don't ask, you don't know. So I thought I might as well ask.
All right. So, you see as it dies, this ichor is pouring out all over the place. Dijo, you get some in your mouth.
Tasty.
You guys don't notice anything other than that you're covered in this nasty black gook now. Those of you that failed, what did you roll, Nadar?
21.
Oh, good. So literally everyone except Nadar and Mel, basically. No, Nadar and you wish Mel. Nadar and Vox.
You wish, Mel.
This is bad.
We all die somewhere.
You don't notice any immediate change, but you guys definitely know that you got really slathered in it. Pretty nasty.
Ugh.
Gross.
The corpse of the Drake lays on the ground, looking pretty. That is Mel's turn. The Drake's turn past Amnon.
Yeah.
Combat is over. You see a couple of lizard folk like crawl out of the water looking at you guys, and you see the black ichor drain from the pores out of them as they collapse on the ground and pass unconscious.
Ooh.
Oh,
That doesn't seem good.
I'll be fine.
I mean,
Highly
combat's
doubtful.
over now, so that's nice.
So I guess combat's over, so it's not really my turn anymore. So it's really just about like figuring out.
No,
what
yeah,
we do.
anyone can do anything.
I'm just like yelling out, anyone need healing? Like my hand glows white.
Hey, Ian.
Mm-hmm.
I could use a little.
If I drop, or if I turn back into a human,
I
will
guess.
still be affected
How bad
by
you
the
feeling?
ichor?
Are you asking to experiment, Swank? Is that what you're asking for?
Yeah, sure.
Phew.
I'll chip
Bless
back,
you.
Swank. Is that what you're asking to do?
Yeah, I'm gonna get closer to the ground, of course, first, and then I'll change back.
Yeah. So you wild shape without plummeting to your death, and
Smart.
you return back into a wood elf, and you feel perfectly healthy and normal.
Cool.
Can I like roll in an investigation check to see what this black kicker might be or do?
I'd be a nature check. Yes,
nature check.
you may.
I'm gonna look at Watt and be like, I could use a little bit, and then after I say that, I'm gonna go grab my great sword and the great sword that the lizard folk dropped.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and then just cure wounds on you.
I rolled a 15, Ian.
Okay. So the ichor, it seems like it's some kind of poisonous material, and it looks like it might not necessarily be terribly dangerous to you. Your experience in dealing with rather disgusting things that you've ingested. You've had a lot of Iros tea, so you know when something's good or something's.
Okay, so Don, you get 9 health back,
God damn.
and then I cast cure wounds on him.
You think that anybody who ingested and or had this forcefully put into them should probably go see an apothecary?
Could I roll a medicine check?
That was
to
me,
see-
right?
Yeah, well, you can totally roll a medicine check to get a better idea of what's going on.
With the poison ichor. Was that sarcastic?
Huh?
Well, it's an 11.
Not at all. Please roll a medicine check. It's an 11.
Yeah.
You notice that everyone's covered in black ichor.
Okay, cool.
Nailed it.
Should we try to see? Can we should go look at the Drake's body and see if we can find something to like take back as proof to show the lizard people that we held up our end of the bargain.
because being covered in lizard goop is not enough.
Well, I mean, it could be just like, we just decided to take a dip and roll around in the moss for a while. You never know. Some of us are smart, or some of us are not smart, So maybe we can find see how intact the body is, and maybe we can get a foot or something.
Yeah, good idea.
So, you guys notice that the water itself very rapidly clear up, and we go from being this black, murky mess to kind of like this muddy brown color, like a light muddy brown.
Okay, that's good.
You also see the blockade in the middle of the road begins to kind of like dissolve into the river, and you see the 2 magnolia trees described to you just on the other side of this blockade now.
Can we see if there's any loot?
Yeah, you want to loot the body? You want to loot the bodies?
Yeah, and do the lizard folk have a camper?
You were informed of a small encampment by those magnolia trees built around them.
Cool. I just want to could I investigate, loot the area around it?
Yeah, by all means. So you guys see Watt start trudging off towards the camp, and he's actually looking through the bodies first as well. Anybody else gonna follow suit on looking through those bodies?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I rolled a 17.
Nadar's gonna kind of inspect that greatsword for lizard folk.
Nadar. Let's see here. Nadar, what's your background in smithing tools or anything like that? Do you have any proficiency with those?
Oh my god. Let me look up. I got a picture of my character sheet.
I got a 10 on my investigation check.
Let's see. Oh.
What tools did I pick?
So you notice that the lizard folk, for those of you who are kind of investigating, don't really carry a whole lot of money on them. They just don't. They don't need it. They carry satchels of bones, a variety of different weapons. You can see a couple of bone javelins made if you want to take those. A bunch of their weapons are made of bone, like bone daggers, bone swords that are dulled and kind of been used a lot, not as dangerous as you would think. The greatsword being the big exception. You see a couple of their belts and things are made of nicer leathers and stuff like that. We'll link some extra stuff if you want to strip them of some of their belts and stuff like that.
Ian, I do not have any proficiency with tools.
All right. So you're not particularly familiar with weapon making. If somebody else in the party would, you could show it to them. If anybody in the party is familiar with any kind of tool making, smithing, it would be helpful. But
that'd be a no.
Inspecting a sword, inspecting this sword, just from looking at it, you can tell that the bone is very sharp and very well kept, made from something very long. It's a 5-foot blade.
I'm gonna call over to Mel. Hey Mel.
Yeah.
Come check this out for me.
Okay.
I hold it out to him, and I'm like, do you get any kind of I don't know how your witchcraft works, and I kind of hand it over to you.
I take the sword, and I'm like, it's not witchcraft. But anyway,
Nadar rolls his eyes like, I just don't give a fuck. The one thing that you're useful for, do it.
You take the weight of this greatsword in your hand, Mel. You know it's a double-sided weapon. So it's got two blades. Well, not two blades. It's a double-edged sword. And the pommel of it, instead of having 2 rounded ends for like bludgeoning a helmet, it's got 2 spiked ends as if to strike with it as well.
Hot.
Do I sense any type of maybe magical presence off of this?
I'm not gonna even make a roll on Arcana check. It's a no.
Okay.
It's obviously a Dane sword crafted from a lizard folk warrior.
Okay. I mean, Just look at Nadar. It looks like a sword.
Nadar.
Yes.
Nadar responds just, "God damn, you're fucking useless," and I just take it from him.
It's not magical.
I take it. I walk away. I don't listen to him anymore.
I don't.
The conversation's over with. Nope, he's not. He's done.
I do magic things. It's not magical. I can't.
As Nadar's walking away, he's just like, "Fucking job, can't even fucking do that." He's like mumbling to himself, bitching.
I look over.
I'm not a smith.
I look over
No
at.
weapons.
I look over at Mel and I say, "If it helps, Zarbdock thinks you're useful. I don't, but Zarbdock does."
Well, I don't know. He just
Thank
does.
you. Thank you, Zardok. Thank you.
Nadar just
so-
kind of play around with the sword, like getting a weight for it and getting a feel.
So, of the actual items you guys scavenge, you get 2 bone hatchets that are basically made for throwing, a couple of plain bone swords that you could probably try to hawk, and you find a bunch of like leather satchels and things like that, and you find a couple of pearls.
Pearls.
Find 2 pearls.
The black pearl.
I say we give the throwing hatchets to Dijo since he's the rogue.
Can I claim one of these pearls?
Dijo takes the hatchet, I suppose.
Dijo, these hatchets are made for lizard folk, and you can tell that they're crudely made, and they hang heavily on you. You can still use them normally, but like it's like they're brutishly made. All right, so that's combat. You guys are heading off to that camp next, but unfortunately, we're out of time for this episode.
Oh, boo.
Yeah. Well, it happens. Sometimes you
Just
just gotta
5 more
face
minutes,
life
Mom.
like it is. No, I'm sorry. Mom's not here. It's just
We
the
gotta
Dungeon
go back
Master-
to the
Dungeon
village to
Masters.
talk to the lizard people.
Not the Dungeon Master.
Well, next time on Dragon Ball Z. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Catch us next week on Your Daily Dungeon for some more antics. The characters will be off to speak to the lizard folk shaman and then return back to the city and give Iroh his tea bags. Thank you guys so much for listening, and catch us on Your Daily Dungeon next time.
Bye.